Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Today I wanted to go over another 10 mid-level account goals because there are so many of them and people seem to enjoy the last video. So I do admit in my last video the account goals were possibly on the higher end of mid-level. Obviously it is pretty subjective, but some of those goals were a little bit more late game than I initially had thought, so this video will be focused maybe more on the lower end of mid-level, just to give you a heads up. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video and let's get started. So coming in at number 1 is unlocking your Kingdom of Miscellanea. Now to do this you need to complete the quest Throne to Miscellanea. It has a requirement of Heroes Quest, Fremennik Trials, and a few small skill requirements. Now by unlocking your Kingdom of Miscellanea, you'll be able to achieve a decent amount of passive gold. With a bit of an initial investment, you can have your workers passively get resources for you when you are logged out of the game, when you're doing other things, when you're doing anything at all. You only really need to check this once in a while. Now since the prices of these items are constantly changing, there's always going to be a different efficient setup just based on what the prices are at. So you can either come over to the Managing Miscellanea section of the RuneScape wiki, or you can join the Throne of Miscellanea clan chat and they should be able to tell you what is the most efficient at that time. Now you can further increase the rewards from Miscellanea by completing the quest Royal Trouble. And one other thing worth mentioning is this quest is extremely useful for Ironmen because a lot of these resources are very slow to obtain. So having workers to do it for you is extremely important. Coming in at number 2 is unlocking the God Capes. They're very easy to do and all you will need is level 60 magic to complete the Major Arena mini quest. Now you are rewarded with a cape that gives you a plus 10 magic attack bonus, and considering you only need level 60 magic, it's a must get for a mid-level account. Now recently they released Major Arena 2, which requires level 75 magic to achieve, and you can further imbue your God Cape to have plus 15 magic attack bonus as well as a plus 2% magic damage bonus. However, getting this cape is a little more complicated and more punishing if you lose it. The original God Cape you can obtain in bulk, like you can get hundreds of those very easily, so it's a very low risk item to bring. However, the imbued God Cape you will be lost on death and you'll have to do the entire process over again to re-imbue your cape, so you'd only really want to bring your imbued God Capes to situations where you're not likely to die. But either way, these are both an excellent goal to set for a mid-level account. Now coming in at number 3 is completing the Desert Treasure quest. Now the Desert Treasure quest is completed primarily to unlock the Ancient Magic spellbook. The Ancient Magics are mainly used for PKing, but there are some applications used outside of it for PVM. One of the more notable ones is Ice Bursting, which is unlocked at level 70 magic. There are many Slayer tasks that can be efficiently done by actually Ice Bursting the monsters for high Slayer experience per hour as well as high magic experience. And at level 94 magic, you unlock objectively the best spell in the game, which is Ice Barrage, which will freeze your opponent for 20 seconds as well as has a max hit of 30. Now beyond the Ancient spellbook, there's actually one other thing that Desert Treasure unlocks, and that is access to Dust Devils. While you can actually kill Dust Devils before completing Desert Treasure, you will not be able to get them assigned as a Slayer task, which is one of their primary uses. Ice Bursting Dust Devils in the Catacombs of Kourend is one of the best tasks to do in the game. It provides a ton of Slayer experience an hour and a ton of magic experience per hour. However, once again, you cannot get this task unless you complete a Desert Treasure. Coming in at number 4 is obtaining and enchanting every item from the Nightmare Zone. So getting these items is a bit of a task on its own. Obtaining items like the Archer's Ring and the Berserker's Ring can be as simple as buying them off the Grand Exchange. The Slayer Helmet has to be obtained via Slayer points from the Slayer Reward Shop, and the Salve Amulet is obtained at the bottom of the Haunted Mine. So enchanting these items is extremely important because in most cases it doubles the bonuses that you receive from it. For example, the Archer's Ring normally gives a plus 4 range bonus, however when enchanted it gives a plus 8 range bonus. Now to enchant these items you need to actually participate in the Nightmare Zone minigame. Now it's pretty easy to do, there are many guides online on how to actually do it. You will passively gain points through just participating in this minigame. Now 650,000 points does sound like a lot, however you will actually unlock that relatively quickly if you are actually just AFK in there for combat experience, or maybe using a more active method like Drawking at 1 HP with the Dwarven Rock Cakes. Either way, trying to enchant all of your items through the Nightmare Zone reward shop is a pretty good mid-game goal. Now coming in at number 5 is unlocking the Holy Wrench. Now I admit this item is a very niche item, you're not going to be using it everywhere, however it does have its uses and I think it's an interesting goal to go for. So to unlock this item you need to complete the quest Rum Deal, and what it does is actually increase the amount of prayer regeneration you get from using prayer potions and super restores. Now on paper that sounds extremely useful, however it is a pretty minimal amount. In general, if you were bringing it into like say the wilderness, you will gain more prayer points just by bringing an additional potion than by bringing the Holy Wrench. However, for situations where inventory space is not an issue, so for maybe Slayer or Nightmare Zone, bringing a Holy Wrench can actually save you quite a bit of money over the long run. For example, if you are just using the Protection Prayer method at Nightmare Zone with a higher prayer bonus, using prayer potions with the Holy Wrench will be extremely useful because you'll have a pretty full inventory of prayer potions and you're using them constantly, so it'll actually in the long run save you money. Another example is for tasks like Dust Devils, where you're bringing items with a high prayer bonus and as well as prayer potions, and you have extra inventory space to spare for one extra item. I really like this item. It's a good goal to go for. It's a shame it's not a little bit more useful though. Coming in at number 6 is unlocking the coal bag. Now to unlock the coal bag, you need 100 gold nuggets. Now these gold nuggets are obtained through participating in the Motherlode mine. Getting 100 gold nuggets won't take really that long, however there are other things in the shop you might want to buy first, like the full prospector's outfit is required to complete the Falador Hard Diaries. That being said, I think the coal bag is probably the most useful. The coal bag is a must-have for doing the blast furnace, otherwise you are going to be completely cutting your experience rates in half. Other than that, it doesn't have a ton of uses, but it is absolutely necessary for that one specific thing, making it pretty important. And the blast furnace is not only good for experience, you can actually make a ton of money there by crafting mithril bars, steel bars, addy bars, and rune bars are usually all profitable. So high experience rates and good money per hour. It's actually just a really good thing to get. Now coming in at number 7 is unlocking the fire cape through completing the fight caves. Now there isn't a specific requirement for completing the fight caves, and it really comes down more to skill more than account requirements. People have completed a fire cape on an extremely low level account. However, for most people, completing it on a mid-level account will be more realistic. The fire cape is one of the few cape slot items that will actually give you a strength bonus, and it gives you a strength bonus of 4 as well as a prayer bonus of 2, as well as an attack bonus in each attack style. The fire cape for the longest time was the best in slot melee cape. Only recently the infernal cape was released, but for most people the fire cape will still be best in slot because the inferno is fucking hard. Now this is probably one of the most classic mid-game account goals to go for. Not only is it one of the best in slot capes, it is also somewhat of a status symbol. Now coming in at number 8 is unlocking the full proselyte set. Now to unlock this, you will need to complete the quest The Slug Menace. By equipping the full set, you are going to get a plus 16 prayer bonus, which is one of the best possible prayer bonuses in the game. Now keeping in mind that the defensive stats of this armor are not amazing, so they're not going to be a substitute for best in slot gear, but for situations where you are going to be protecting against all of the damage with your protection prayers, having a higher prayer bonus is extremely important. So for Slayer tasks, certain bosses, and really any situation where you want to have your prayer drain slower, having the full proselyte set is going to be extremely useful. And coming in at number 9 is unlocking the Slayer rings. Now you are able to buy Slayer rings through the shop for 75 Slayer points, but that is a ripoff, so don't do it. At level 75 crafting and after unlocking the ability from the Slayer shop, you're allowed to create your own Slayer rings. However, you don't really need to get level 75 crafting. I would recommend getting 71, or if you have the spicy stews unlocked, level 70. 71 is quite a bit easier though, and I would recommend going for that. At 71, you can buy a mushroom pie off the Grand Exchange, which will give you a +4 crafting boost. Now what you need to do is buy a bunch of these Slayer gems, and when you eat the mushroom pie, you'll be able to craft them for around 1 minute. Now if you have a third-party client like Rune Light, I would recommend drinking a super attack potion or a regular potion of some sort. Now for those who don't know, your stats are drained on somewhat of a global tick, so it is possible to get really unlucky and eat your mushroom pie and then have your level decrease like 3 seconds later. So what you want to do is wait for your stats to drain down 1 after you drink a potion like a attack potion or a super attack potion. Then you want to eat your mushroom pie, because then that will give you closer to a full minute than if you just do it randomly. If you have like level 72 crafting, this is not as big a deal, but at level 71 crafting, as soon as you lose 1 level, you will no longer be able to craft a Slayer ring. So basically you're just going to bring a bunch of mushroom pies and craft a bunch of Slayer rings. These will last quite a while because they have 8 uses per Slayer ring. And the reason they are so useful is because you can, for one, teleport directly to Neve, which is close to a bank, but also just close to the Slayer Master. You can teleport to the Relica Slayer Cave, which is extremely close to a Fairy Ring teleport, probably one of the closest in the game. And also on top of that, you are able to communicate to Slayer Masters through the ring, which is also extremely useful. And last up here, coming in at number 10, is unlocking the favor rewards from the Zaya houses. Now there is a major reward for each of the Zaya houses. Now unlocking these rewards, it requires you to get a different percent of favor in each of the houses, and you gain this favor by completing tasks for that house. Now there are a ton of different methods and a ton of different houses out there, so you will get rewards such as being able to craft teleport tablets for the Arceus spellbook, which can actually be good money per hour. You will be able to enter the Woodcutting Guild at 60% Hosidius favor. You will unlock the Blast Mine at 100% Lovakenge favor. you'll be able to catch anglerfish at 100% Piscilaria's favor, and you'll be able to unlock the Lizardman Shamans at 100% Shazian favor. Also, another notable one is at 60% favor, you unlock the Arceus Spellbook. Anyway guys, that is pretty much it. Those are 10 more account goals for mid-level accounts. If you have any more suggestions for mid-level account goals that I may have missed, please leave a comment down below. And once again, thank you to all my patrons over on patreon.com. If you are looking for another way to support the channel, Patreon is an awesome way to do so. Once again, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next time.